Proverbs 18:18. The law puts an end to quarrels. Proverbs 16:33. The law is cast into the lap, but its every decision is from the Lord. Hey everyone, this is Micah Blake with Divination in the Bible, and today we're going to be talking about how you can hear your answers from God through casting lots. Now, casting lots is something that's been throughout the entire Bible. We see it a lot in the first 3 kings of Israel. Saul uses it several times in very practical manners. David uses it, and then Solomon talks about it quite a few times in the Proverbs. We also see it in a practical way being used with Jonah. The people on the boat used lots to find out that it was actually the reason that the whole bag storm was happening was because of Jonah. We even see it as part of a prophecy about Christ's crucifixion. The guards cast lots to decide who would get his garment. So, we're going to see some very practical ways on how to use casting lots in your own life, and also some different things on how you should be asking questions, what questions, how you should be doing this, what intention you should be using, and some other things you may decide to move on to if casting lots is something that has been intriguing to you and you enjoy it. To start out, casting lots is the act of doing it is super simple. And after we do some of them, you may think, like, that's almost too simple, it's silly. Like, how can it be from God? But if you think about different things that we do through Christianity, in our spirituality, sometimes they are very simple. Think about prayer. If you were going to describe how to pray, like, the basic act of praying is talking to God. Done. But we have books and books and books about it, and countless spiritual gurus have talked about prayer and how to do it, and you can get into the very depths of that subject. And casting lots, and all divination really, is the other side of prayer. It's, okay, I asked God, or I communicated to him. How do I hear back? How is he going to respond? And that's something that's personal. Many different people in the Bible have done it in many different ways. That's because everyone in the Bible is a different person. And you're going to find that certain ways work best for you, and certain ways work in certain situations for you. So we're going to look at some very simple ways to do casting lots. But first we're going to talk about questions. Usually when you're asking for divination purposes something from God, you have a question. So what I found with most divination, and this is in spirituality through Christianity and outside of Christianity, divination is not great at asking, should I do this? Now, that could be talked about for a very long time and have all kinds of theological discussions about that. But that's what it comes down to. Should I do this, God? You don't find the answers very well in divination. Where you do find the answers is what? Now, you get information you normally wouldn't have had. Questions like, how do I have a better relationship with this person at work? If I take this job, will it affect my family? If I do this, will it do that? So finding out if you make decisions, when I do this, what will happen? Divination is really, really good for that. So you get more information and you can make a better decision after that. There's so many different applications for that, but typically that's how it comes down to. It's very difficult to find what should I do these answers. what you'll find out better is what will happen, or what is the situation. Everything seems in chaos in my life. Where is the root of the issue? And you can find that, it's actually at work that the problem is, even though it's manifesting at home. It's maybe this part of my life, even though I feel like it's in this one. And then you start working at that part of your life, and the whole situation will clear up. That's a great way to use divination. And casting lots is just one of those ways we can do it. Now, the basics of casting lots is getting better clarity on an answer, like, where is this issue in my life? And you can figure out that it's not in these sections. So cutting things away or trying to actually find them. So like one of the ways is literally like flipping a coin. So you can literally ask, I'm having some anxiety or stress in my life right now. Is this because of work? And you can be in a good intention. Intention is something that is not taught very often. And a big reason is it's hard to judge if it's being done correctly. We're in a society that always judges, yes, you did that right, or no, you didn't do that right. And you can't really do that with intention. It's internal. You have to know if your intention is correct. So you're asking God, you have the intention of finding out this answer. And okay, so is my stress in my life coming from work? Literally have heads or tails. Heads mean yes, tails means no, or whatever. You just want to be consistent with it. And you find out that no, it's not work. So you ask about another section of your life. It's good to have some sections of your life kind of segregated in your mind. Not that you separate yourself and make up all these walls, but just to be easier to whittle down what's going on. And the typical ones are, home, work, relationships, money, and your physical body. Those are all different major categories that it's easier. You're going to view it differently, a problem differently, once you know which category it's in. A coin is one way. You literally could be drawing straws, or in this case I have popsicle sticks, and you could write all those categories on them, and then whichever one you draw would be that. Or drawing names out of a hat is literally the same thing. You can get so creative with this. My suggestion would be that you use a certain method and you keep using that method. You're going to understand it better. And something that you can also do is say you did multiple coins, and one of them was tails, which is a no. 4 of them were heads, which is a yes. And you can kind of view that as kind of like a percentage, because nothing is really set in stone. Things change. You decide things differently. Maybe it's not completely about work, but it's mostly about work. You could even do it with a deck of cards. So you just shuffle them up and deal out, say, 4 cards. And the red are one thing, yes, and the black is no. And you view those cards as, once again, like a percentage. It's mostly this, but not 100%. Cards are something that have been used throughout history in many ways. One of the ways is tarot, but just using normal playing cards and using them in this way as casting lots is a normal way to do that. A very traditional way of casting lots would be, like I said before, take some sticks, like popsicle sticks, or something that has a little bit of heft to it. So you could use paper and shuffle it, but it always just doesn't feel quite right, and they stick together and stuff. Anyway, so, and then you mark them. I'm just going to mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you take them in your hand, you ask your question, and you throw it against something like a wall. And whichever one comes back furthest is your answer. So if I had my categories as 1, home, 2, work, 3, relationships, 4, money, and 5, physical, and 5 bounce back the most, then my stress is coming physically from my body. There may be something I need to change, something I need to work out more, maybe I need to eat better. There's so many different things it could be, but now that I'm focusing on my body, it should be easier to find why that is. So what I like about doing this method rather than just a yes or no answer is because you do get more information. The main purpose that I use divination and casting lots is to get more information about a subject so that you can make better decisions, so that you can know that you're going on the right path and doing the right thing. So this is a simple way to do it yourself. I'm going to put a chart at the end of this of some basic things that you could do. Like I said, having 1 be home, 2 be work, all of that. It's an easy way that you can do it. But you can also get some other things. So some instructions. So like instead of just a yes or no, you could have like a stop, wait, go, observe, find, like things that tell you to do more. So what can I do about my situation with this? And you throw your popsicle sticks, and the one that comes back is observe. So it literally means maybe you're going about this too quickly and you need to just sit down and think about it and figure out what you need to do. Now, like I said, the act physically making these and doing them is simple. It's just as simple as praying. What it comes down to, getting a little more complicated, is your intention, what you're trying to do. Why you're trying to do it. Is everything right in your life? Trying to get your life in alignment is what we're doing in the first place. And as we use these, because these are a practice, these are a discipline, the more you use them, the better you are at figuring out exactly how you understand them, how you respond, and how you communicate through them will help you out so much more. Now, if you're practicing with something simple and you like it, then it's working well for you, but it feels like you want to go a little bit further or a little bit deeper, my suggestion would be that you use some systems that are already in place. The 2 main systems that are very much like casting lots would be runes and also tarot cards. Now, I've done both of these before. Runes are a Nordic system. There's a bunch of different ways you can do it, but it pretty much comes down to stones or pieces of wood or anything that you have. You could even use cards with symbols on them, and these symbols stand for certain things, and you are literally doing the same thing: asking a question, casting lots, reading what the answer is. And the nice thing about runes is they are very rudimentary. There's no fancy pictures. It literally is the symbol, how it corresponds to the others, and it's very good for like, this is what's going on and this is what you can do to fix it. Very simple that way. A big difference between tarot and the runes is tarot cards are about visualizing it, seeing what's in the picture, and the runes don't have a huge image aspect to them. And when I do readings with both of them, once again, with runes, I typically get, this is actually what's going on, this is what I should do about it, and the why, the emotion, the flavor I find more in the tarot. So if I found in the runes that this is a family issue, then in the tarot I would find a whole montage of emotionally what's going on. Is it in me? Is it in other people? Is it all this stuff? So both of these systems have been around for thousands of years, and they come with a lot of baggage. I'm sure you've run into them in your life, and some people will have had some unpleasant experiences with them or with people who have done them, and it may just be very difficult for you to have a unbiased view of them as a tool that you can use to communicate with God. So if that's the case, make your own. If you can symbolically write pictures of a whole bunch of different things in your life. Now, this is where it's nice to have runes and tarot, because all of that has already been done for you, but going through the process would be extremely therapeutic for you to write down what symbol, what picture means work to me. What symbol or what picture means love. What symbol means all these different things. And then you can actually use them as your communication. So when you're like, where's this stress in my life coming from? And you throw down, 20 different things, and it will show up in a different way and speak to you specifically if you can create a good enough system of how you visualize a lot of the things in your life. So that's how you do casting lots. It's been used throughout the Bible, throughout history, and if it's something that you think that you want to get into a little bit more, just start super small. Just start doing it. Starts with a question, being in the right mindset, having that intention to find the answer from God about this question. Typically, the question should be about information and not, should I do this? I wouldn't just go to anything and say, should I do or should I not do that? Because you'll even see throughout the Bible that God has blessed humans with a free will. And it's very rare that he's going to make you do anything. And there's so many infinite different paths to accomplish the right thing in your life. So asking should is a very tricky thing. It doesn't teach you responsibility of yourself. It doesn't teach you responsibility of your actions or actually thinking about what the right thing to do is. It's a pretty ignorant way of thinking. So what you want to find out is what will happen if you make this decision or that. What is going on? And possibly how do you fix the situation? So thinking along those lines, you'll get a lot more information from casting lots. And you'll find that in the Bible, that's often how it was used. It was used to find information that they couldn't normally have. So I hope this was helpful. If you want a fuller description or a more complete study on this, I do have a course on runes on Udemy, which I'll have linked below. I also have the book Divination in the Bible. If you haven't read it before, it's on audiobook, ebook, paperback, and a online course, which is pretty much like a video of me going through the book. And it goes through a lot of the divination tools in the Bible. I'd love to hear what you actually use for divination, ways that you talk to God and hear back from Him. So put them right in the comments, and keep going along the path to be a true person, a healthy person, and to be living right in this world. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.